Hi, I'm Nathan and welcome to Ninja Monkey, the place for all things related to Japan. I give travel tips, insights, create fan-related videos, and I'm currently focusing on what's going on behind Japan's closed borders. So, if you're a potential tourist, student, business person, or any other type of traveler, you've come to the right place. So join Team Ninja Monkey if you haven't already, and make sure that your bell notifications are on so that you don't miss any future videos. My aim is to put all of the readily available information into one easy to follow video. I do the research so that you don't have to, and as always, all links are included in the video description so that you can do your own reading if you wish to. This week I've actually hurt my shoulder, so I'll try my best to deliver today's content. In this week's video, I will recap some of the main stories, including the COVID situation in Japan, Japan's vaccine drive, potential vaccine passport updates, the Olympics, and some special information that students and business people might find important, along with answering your questions towards the end of the video. So let's get started. I think it's actually important to see how much of a stronghold COVID actually has in Japan. So this week I will introduce a brief overview of daily positives for you to get a good idea of how things are progressing in this area. COVID positive cases remain rather steady this week. Bear in mind that these numbers sometimes change, as occasionally the previous day's results are added on the next day. Considering that back in January and in May, daily figures were hitting near above 7,000 daily cases, this week's numbers demonstrates a huge drop in cases moving forward. I continue to believe that vaccination is one of the ways that can help Japan reopen in a safe manner. The more people that are vaccinated, the safer it will be for Japan to allow people in. And the sooner this happens, the sooner reopening will accelerate. So let's check out this week's update. This week is the first time the statistics are available for general population doses since Japan opened its vaccination drive to residents 64 and under to a certain extent. Therefore, moving forward, I will be including the general population statistics too. So let's have a look at how Japan's vaccine drive has been doing this week. As of the 24th of June, there have now been 10,326,060 doses administered to healthcare workers, out of which 4,615,452 are second doses. This is an increase of 639,770 healthcare worker doses since last week's update. Additionally, 25,537,075 elderly citizen doses have now been administered. This also includes the second dose, therefore making it an increase of 6,336,228 elderly citizen doses since my last update. And looking at doses given to those under the age of 64, 1,084,555 first doses and 266,510 second doses have been administered to the general population, which means that there have now been collectively 37,214,200 doses administered, including second doses, to the whole population, which is an increase of 8,327,063 inoculations, including the second dose since last week's update. Breaking this down further shows that 25,556,855 people have received at least one dose out of the population of 126 million and are now either fully inoculated or on their way to be fully vaccinated, making that 20.28% of the population having had one dose and 9.25% of the population where they are fully inoculated with both doses. With a total of 6,282,080 jabs being given this week, including second doses, and the highest daily rate being on June the 24th, when 1,010,912 doses were administered, we can now see how the vaccine drive is indeed accelerating and starting to hit the 1 million a day milestone. I look forward to seeing further movement in this area next week. To make things easier for you to understand, as from next week's update, I will include the elderly and the healthcare worker doses in one statistics and highlight the rest of the population, the under 64s, to see how that new vaccine drive is developing. So How do you feel that the vaccine drive is going? With Japan having started vaccinating anyone, regardless of age, to a certain extent, and earlier on this week starting to vaccinate Olympic workers and the media, I think we're finally seeing Japan in line with other countries, and huge efforts are being made to catch up with the rest of the world, especially now that Japan is only 4 weeks away from the Olympics. Earlier this week, the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympic organisers agreed to allow up to 10,000 spectators to enter each Games venue, provided the number does not exceed 50% of a venue's capacity. However, a no spectator Games remains an option for the Tokyo Olympics, which opens officially in just 4 weeks' time. The president of the Tokyo Olympic Organising Committee said, "Organisers put off the decision on local fans for several months, and fans from abroad were banned months ago. But the move to allow fans went against many medical experts who have said the safest Olympics would be with no fans due to the virus concerns. What I feel is that no spectating should remain an option for us as we look into things," Hashimoto said at a news conference. "The situation is changing from time to time, so that is why we need to remain flexible and prompt in responding to any change. A no spectator Games is one of our options." What do you think? As the Olympics seem to indeed be going ahead, should spectators be allowed, even at the reduced 50% or 10,000 spectator capacity? Or do you think it should go ahead with no spectators? I'll be going into an Olympic feature video soon, so let me know if you're interested in this area too. There have already been quite a few incidents, such as some team members testing positive and some countries calling out for unfair treatment, so I thought it would be best to make it its own feature video, so keep an eye out for that one soon. Last week, I reported on the fact that Japan was preparing to issue its own vaccine certification for its own citizens, but was however not planning to establish a system that would allow vaccine passports issued abroad to be accepted when people enter the country. I did however mention that although this might be bad news for those hoping to travel into Japan with vaccine passports, that we would have to closely monitor and see how other countries responded. And this is exactly what seems to be happening. In an article by Nikkei Asia, it states that under the diplomatic rule of reciprocity, countries are expected to mutually impose or lift entry measures, so Tokyo will need to ease its own entry requirements for such restriction-free travel to take off. Additionally, the Italian ambassador has called on Japan to re-evaluate the entry ban, specifically for Italian students and for workers. So already there is a movement in this area. The fact that the number of countries that are allowing Japanese nationals entry only means that more countries might start making similar calls for fairness. I will continue to keep a close eye in this area and see how things develop further, especially as we get closer to the end of July, when such documentation is set to go live. But also remember that a vaccine passport is not the only solution. If the vaccine drive is a success, then vaccination passports might actually not be required due to the country having the immunity needed. And according to Kyodo News, Japan may achieve herd immunity by mid-October, at the earliest thanks to a recent acceleration in the country's inoculation drive. Regarding students, I wish I could give more positive updates for my many supporter students who have already been waiting a long time to enter Japan. So, in the meantime, I'd like to bring to your attention some websites and petitions that might help spread awareness of the issue to help you all out. All will be listed in the video description. Firstly, educationisnottourism.com is collecting student stories which are being presented to the government at regular meetings. So, if you haven't already done so and you have a story to tell, then please visit the website to join others with similar stories and strengthen this cause. There is also an online petition which I have included for anyone that might want to support this. The petition calls for more transparency regarding Japan reopening the borders for partners and family members, and calls for clearer guidelines regarding students wanting to enter Japan. This petition is backed by professors and lecturers of various Japanese universities and institutions and currently has just under 1,700 signatures. help support this cause, as it will only take a few minutes of your time and might substantially make a change in someone's future. So thanks for watching this far. I like to answer a comment at the end of each video, so start sending in your questions and I might select yours to answer. I also hope you can join into a live stream when I can answer you directly in the future. This week I will try to answer a few of your questions that at this moment in time don't necessarily have updated information. Robin Nagy says, what about people with skilled labour residence card, not permanent residence? I'm stuck in India with no money. And Senpai Yogi says, hi, how about new entry for work, sir? When? So firstly, India, along with some other countries, are not allowed entry into Japan, and even if you are a Japanese resident arriving from India, you will need to quarantine in a government quarantine hotel. Unfortunately, work visas are currently suspended and there is no news of when this will be relaxed. I'll keep an eye out in this area and will inform you as soon as this is updated. There are some very specialized jobs that are allowed entry into Japan, but even this process is incredibly complicated. So I'm sorry I can't help in that regard, but I hope to clear things up a little bit more. Frisco Paname says, hello, greetings from France. The next Tokyo Marathon on the 17th of October will be closed to international runners. Maybe another indicator that the country will remain closed in 2021? Well, I think that this could either be an indicator of the country remaining closed until this time, especially as they don't expect the vaccine drive to be completed until late in November, or as the organizers themselves have mentioned, that the difficult decision was made due to ongoing border restrictions in Japan, and that the uncertainty of when this may end has meant that they had to cancel it for foreign participants. If there is anything that I've learned through producing weekly content, is that the Japan situation is like a roller coaster. You really never know what's around the corner or how things are going to change. So anyway, thanks for watching all the way to the end. I'll continue to monitor the situation and hope to give some positive news soon. The Olympics are only a few weeks away, and I do feel that things will become clearer the closer we get to the event or shortly after. Let's get a conversation started in the comment section. I do try to respond to as many as I can, and I'd love to know your thoughts. Don't forget to like the video too. So till next time, arigatou gozaimasu, thank you very much, gracias, and bye.